lovely Milky Way galaxy. So last night I watched two new movies that I've never seen before. One of them was called Steel Trap. And basically the movie is about like 6 people that were invited to... No, it might have been more than 6 people. I think it was like 8 people in total. And what happened was they were at this New Year's Eve party, and they all got a text message saying, meet on the 27th floor for a game, basically. And that game turned out to be a bad game because everyone died except for one person, and that was the chef. Her real name is Kat Knight, but they called her Kathy King. Or her cooking name was Kathy King. And every single person, like I said, died at the end of the movie. Now, the other movie I saw last night is called Stowaway, and I'm going to read the synopsis to you guys for that. But before I get into that, really quick, there's 2 movies I'm going to watch. I haven't decided what the second movie is going to be, but I know that one of the movies is going to be Superhost with Gracie Gillum, or Gracie, or Grace, however you want to say her name. That movie I will watch sometime today. I don't know when, but it'll be sometime today. So let's just go over this Stowaway film. The crew of an MTS-42, a 2-year mission to Mars, consists of Mission Commander Marina Barnett, biologist David Kim, and medical researcher Zoe Levinson. After taking off from Earth, the upper stage of their launch vehicle is connected by 450-meter-long tethers to the ship's main hull, acting as a counterweight for inertia-based artificial gravity. Shortly after takeoff, Barnett discovers launch support engineer Michael Adams an accidental stowaway unconscious between 2 modules, entangled with a device that scrubs carbon monoxide from the air on the ship. As he falls, the device is inadvertently destroyed. The crew is forced to use emergency lithium hydroxide canisters to scrub CO2 from the air. Unfortunately, canisters cannot sustain the extra load. Barnett orders David to immediately cultivate his algae experiment on the ship rather than at the Martian colony as planned. Only half of the algae survive, providing just enough oxygen for a 3rd crew member. Without another oxygen supply, the crew of 4 will asphyxiate weeks after reaching Mars. Barnett asks Mission Control for a solution that will save all 4 passengers, but the only option, an untested EVA spacewalk, to climb the tethers and recover liquid oxygen from the spent upper stage rocket, is deemed too risky. Barnett and David begin to come to terms with sacrificing Michael, but Zoe convinces him to wait 10 days for Mission Control to think of another solution. After 3 days, David breaks rank to explain the situation to Michael, offering him a painless lethal injection. Michael nearly takes his own life, but Zoe stops him and convinces him to hold out for a while longer. She insists on climbing the tethers to retrieve the liquid oxygen. David reveals that the rest of the algae has died, leaving only enough oxygen for 2. Now facing the death of 2 passengers, he agrees to join her on the climb. Zoe and David perform the EVA and jury rig a solution fill 2 cylinders, which is enough to sustain 2 more passengers. Deadly radiation from a high energy solar flare, coronal mass ejection, forces them to leave one of the cylinders behind. They make it back to the ship, but due to a critical equipment failure, the single oxygen cylinder is lost. After regrouping, they realize the large tank continues to leak oxygen due to improvised connection, and that if one person exposes themselves to the lethal radiation to retrieve the cylinder left behind on the first attempt, the other 3 can survive. Marina must survive to pilot the ship, but the other 3 all volunteer to make the sacrifice. As Michael is untrained and both he and David have families back home, Zoe ultimately insists on doing it herself. She manages to return the cylinder to the ship before succumbing to radiation poisoning. She spends her final moments outside the ship, gazing at a faint amongst the stars. Yeah, so that's that. So it's got Anna Kendrick as Zoe, Toni Collette. I'm not sure who played the other two individuals, but yeah. So that's the movie I saw. Now, I want to talk a little bit about sports. I'm not going to talk about the Niners until tomorrow, so that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the NLCS and the ALCS, because those are pretty much set at this point. Now, the Phillies beat the Braves 3-1. The San Diego Padres beat the Dodgers 3-1. And the Houston Astros beat the Seattle Mariners 3-0. Now, there's still one series, the American League Division Series is still going on. It's the final game is today between the Yankees, or not the final game, but game 4 of the series is tonight. And the winner, if it's Cleveland, they move on to the ALCS to face the Houston Astros. And say it's the Yankees that win tonight's game, then they go to Game 5 on Monday to decide who goes on to face the Houston Astros. Now, in National League, I don't really know who I'm picking to win that series. The Phillies are good. The Padres are good. It's going to be an interesting series. That's all I'm going to say. The Warriors played their first game of the regular season starting on Tuesday against the Lakers. And that's a televised game. I don't know what channel it's on, but that's what's happening with that. So I'm looking forward to that on Tuesday. And then, like I said, today the Niners are playing. I'm not going to say who they're playing, but you'll hear more about that tomorrow. But there are a few other things I wanted to talk about in the sports world. So Sac State beat Eastern Montana or Eastern Washington or something like that. Hang on, let me Google it. I want to make sure I get the right score here. So it was Sac State winning 52-28 over Eastern Washington, which means they improved their record to 6-0, and there's only 4 games left of the season. So then the teams that they're playing left aren't really that great. I'm not saying they're going to win every single game, but they got some, opponents that aren't good this year. They're kind of so-so or below 500, things like that. So actually, you know what? Let's see. Let me look at who they have left to play. So they play Montana, which is a very good team. They're the first in their side. Idaho, Weber State, Portland State, and so actually it's 5 more games. Portland State and UC Davis to end the year. So next week they play Montana at 8 p.m. on the 22nd. So there's that. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about was Folsom High winning again over Del Oro. They won. What was the final? Let me go here. The final was 34-7. Then the final 2 games of their season, they're playing Granite Bay and Rockland. They go to Granite Bay this Friday. It's coming Friday, and then they go to Rockland next Friday. They come home to play Rockland, and then the season's done, and then they move on to the playoffs. Most likely they're going to be moving on to the playoffs. So that's it for all the stuff I wanted to talk about. I don't know what my second movie is going to be for tomorrow's vlog, but I'll figure it out, and then I'll leave it in the description, or I'll figure it out and upload a second vlog for you guys. So we have one birthday today, and I've got to wish. I'm going to wish Charlie Warner a happy 25th birthday today. So happy 25th birthday to him. And then we've got one tomorrow, and then a bunch more left this year or this month. But this month is coming to a close, just to let you guys know. And anyways, I will see you tomorrow with a brand new vlog, and bye-bye.